welcome to NAPOD, where we provide NA speaker meetings and workshops in a podcast. We are an ad-free podcast, and if you enjoy listening, please help us to be self-supporting by visiting napod.xyz, look for the donate link, and drop $1 or $2 in the virtual basket. If you're also in AA or have friends that are, please tell them about our other podcast, Sobercast. Sobercast features AA speakers and workshops in the same format as NAPOD. We upload a new speaker every day, and it's easy to subscribe by searching for Sobercast, that's 2 words, on any podcast player app, or go to Sobercast.com. Enjoy the podcast, and thanks for listening.
All right, they just gave me another job. The first thing I'm going to do, in Narcotics Anonymous, we celebrate clean time and anniversaries, and they real important. You know, clean time is important. You know, and the only people saying it ain't is the people who ain't got none. Robbie, I want to thank her for being in my life and inviting me to be in hers. She didn't have any idea what she did for me when she asked me to sponsor her. You know, I was looking for a confirmation from God or an affirmation that I was doing a good thing here, you know, that I was growing and progressing. And this sister asked me to sponsor her. And I want you to know she's celebrating today 8 years clean. And that's more clean time than I got. You know, and, for her to ask me to sponsor her with less clean time than she had, and she knew that. But you know what? It is not about the amount of time we have. It is about the quality of your recovery that attracts people to you. It's about the God that they see in you. Because I asked her the same thing. Why you ask me? You know, and I needed that when she asked me. You know, I needed her to do just that. You know, and God has a way of doing things for us. And I love her. You know, and there's some other people in here, other women that I sponsor, and I love you too. You know, and thank you for being a real big support to me. I'm going to do what they asked me to do. I'm just pulling one out of here. Where mine at? And I don't even know what you get. Oh, you get that. Oh my God, check them out. Okay, the number is 496-182. $496-182.
Going once.
Thank you. You know, and I did that just so that the guy who showed up here first, you know, would be the one that shows out. You know, this podium, Robbie said, "Why are you nervous?" And I said, "Why am I nervous?" She said, "Yeah, you can do this." I said, "Okay, well then dig this. Let me introduce you." You know, because even though I know that this is an environment of acceptance and this is a loving and caring environment, and it's nobody in here who don't know me just through the Spirit. It's not anybody in here who don't know me through your experience. It's not anybody in here who don't know me through the struggle. Okay? So I know that I'm amongst friends. You know, I already know that. But I live with a cunning enemy of life that'll tell me some stuff like, they don't want to hear you if you didn't jump off the 3rd floor window. You know, they don't want to hear you if you didn't crawl out the alleys they crawled out of. You know, they don't want to hear you if you ain't into the double digits yet. You know, that's what the disease tells me. You know, even though I know I'm in a room full of love. You know, if nothing else, my mama in this room. So there's some love in here for me. You know, my man in this room, there's some love in this room for me. My home group members are in this room. And it's some love for me, you know. And the brothers and sisters from my area that came up Oh, man, thank you. You know, and I know that they didn't just come here for me, because we in St. Louis, we come to convention. We come to do Narcotics Anonymous because that's what we do. You know, but I'm grateful that they made that journey up the highway. You know, and I'm grateful that I can look out there and see their familiar faces. You know, it's a real great support to me. You know, I want to say that I have a home group. You know, and we can't believe it's my home group. We're at 5915 Minerva in St. Louis, Missouri. We meet Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And if you're ever there and have an opportunity, hey, come on in. Come on and do it, because we love you from the corner right on up into the meeting. You know, and I'm really grateful for them, because I know that wherever they are right now, they with me in knowing that I'm doing this. You know, I wish I could have brought them all. We got 76 members on our home group list, and I'm the secretary, and all of them ain't active. That sometimes make me mad, but it is whatever it is. But I know that when they knew I was coming here, that they would come in spirit if they couldn't come in the flesh. You know, and I'm grateful for them and all that they have done to keep me on this same path. You know, I suffer from some things that come along with the disease. I have some symptoms that come along with the disease. You know, and one of them is to be self-loathing and not feel worthy of things. And I don't think that that's an unfamiliar thought to the people in this room, you know, because when you live, like I said, it says in our literature, and I brought the book and I laughed because I said, I'm going to bring the book up there and scare them to death, make them think I'm going to come out. I'm not going to come out the book. I brought the book up for real because my basic text is used. As a matter of fact, it's used to the point that pages are falling. I don't have a hardback. My sponsor gave it to me because at that time I wasn't convinced I was an addict and I wouldn't buy a book. And this was a paperback she bought for a brother that was locked up. But by the time she talked to him again, he had gotten a book. So she had this book and I already had it inscribed to him. And she said, you still don't have a book? And I said, no. And she said, well, here, you can have this one. And this is the one I keep and this is the one I use. You know, our program is in our literature, you know, and I believe in the program of Narcotics Anonymous. I believe in it, but I love the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. I love the people. You know, one thing I know about the pages of this book is just black words on white pages. And it is not until this program is living and breathing through how we act and live and conduct and behave in our families, at our jobs, with the people in the rooms, that this thing come to life. So don't ever get confused that one can move without the other. The program is good, man, on paper, but I done seen a dozen addicts with basic tech ride with them in that car used. You know, so you need to know that we save each other's lives. We save each other's lives. The literature tells us in the beginning, man, because it's some stuff that we do. We even do it in the meetings. If you want the message, I'm going to hurry up and give it because I need to do a disclosure statement so that you know up front what the message is. In Narcotics Anonymous, our message is that any addict can stop using drugs, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. That's the message. Okay? And in it, there is hope. So it's a message of hope. And there's a promise from freedom from active addiction for you. You know? It tells us that we, the addict, is the ultimate weapon. That ain't my opinion. It's something I believe in today. But it ain't my opinion. It's written. And it says in the introduction of this basic text that we got a proven plan for daily recovery. That means that if you do what we do for one day, you got 1 day clean. And that's what it says. That's and that's as simple as it gets. We got a proven plan for daily recovery. And in that same introduction, it talks about our shared experience and the value of it. It doesn't say all of these other things that we say to each other. Sharing is a critical piece to this. If nobody ever came in these rooms and shared the exact nature of what was up, then I might still be somewhere with the disease of addiction thinking there's something wrong with my toe. But it's our shared experience that has me right here where I am today, clean. You know, and I'm so grateful. You know, I am, and I talk to my sponsor, you know, and I want to let you know I've been set up. You know, I've been set up by God, and y'all been set up to hear me. You know, because I said it from the beginning. Why? And I set it up to last night, and I set it up to this morning. You know, why did they choose me? What the hell did they hear me say? Didn't they hear me say I was an addict? You know, and a lot of that comes because we put each other under glass. You know, we put each other under light. You know, but I don't live my life in the dark. I live my recovery in the light. I owe you that. I owe my God that. You know, what do I look like today being critically blessed and alive that I am to go and live in the dark somewhere? You know, anonymity is my right. And at any time, I have the right to divulge my personal anonymity as long as it does not affect this fellowship at large. I don't have a problem with people knowing that I'm an addict in recovery. And I don't have a problem with them knowing that I'm an addict that did use. And everything that came along with use. You know why? Because I work the steps and I live in the solution. And it's some steps that you can get to in this process where God will take the shame and the guilt away and you ain't going to have no problem with it either. You know. I said, I joked with some of my home group members coming because it was like, what the hell am I going to tell them? You know, what am I going to say? You know, and we take risks in these rooms. You know, when you step out and you share anything, you take a risk. You know. But the reality of staying clean from day to day without knowing what's going to happen is a risk within itself. That's why faith is critical to this process. That's why God is critical to this process. You know, because we do take a risk. And he acts as a shield. See, I know that even in this room, no matter what I say, I've already got the benefits of grace. Otherwise, I wouldn't be at the podium. You know, I'm already in the benefits of God's grace. You know, I was like, where is God going to take me? You know, is he going to take me to the closet I used to crawl up in when I was a little girl and I didn't feel accepted? You know, where is God going to take me? You know, is he going to take me to the times when I started tricking and running in and out of sets? Is he going to take me there? You know, is he going to have me talk about my mother's active addiction and what it caused me or what I felt like it put me through as a kid? Where is he going to go? And I really, right now, know that whatever comes out of my mouth, it was what God intended. You know, and I need to relax in what God intended. You know, I've learned to kick back, man, in God. You know, and relax in it. You know why? Because I could tell you all of that stuff. You know, I could tell you about a trick. You know, from the flow up, man, I could tell you about a trick. I ain't forgot no parts of it. You know, I could talk to you about sleeping in my car. You know, but I need you to know it's mercy. You know, mercy is what God had on me. See, sometimes people do things to me or they do things and I don't like how I feel after they've done them. And if I don't go back and trip with them, then I'm in a position of being merciful, you know. And I don't get into that. You know. It's not until after I got here that I realized the grace. You know. Mercy, being spared. And then getting here and being rewarded with grace. You know, I laughed and talked with Mike last night, and I said, you know what? Everybody in here has been sentenced. You know, we all doing life up in NA. You know, and thank God for Narcotics Anonymous. Because if I had to do life, this is the place I want to do it. You know, this is the place I want to do it. know, it's some people that were sentenced to life and it wasn't in these rooms. You know, this addict paradise. That's exactly what it is. You know, this is addict paradise. You know, and if it ain't paradise for you, then don't look around and talk about the fellowship. Because other people in the fellowship in paradise. So what's on the inside of you to tell you this ain't paradise for you? Or wait a minute, or it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, it's some stuff on the inside that tell you this ain't a benefit. I got to do this shit the rest of my life. Well, you know what? Staying in the Hilton ain't a bad thing to do the rest of my life. It ain't. You know, being gainfully employed ain't a bad thing to do the rest of my life. You know, having some loving and caring individuals in my life. You know, wait a minute, that will carry me when I can't carry myself. That ain't a bad thing to do for the rest of your life. You know, because I've had days where I've had to throw myself on the love of the fellowship. You know, I came to Narcotics Anonymous socially accepted. You know, and I want to thank the planning committee and the topics of the workshops. You know, they do the best they can to get us what we need. You know, Mercedes talked about giving people what they need and not what you want them to have. You know, and this disease does so many things to us all, and it affects our thinking so much, you know, that we need some of the topics we had, you know. And social acceptability don't equal recovery. And when I got here, I was socially accepted. You know, I had a great job. I had a title on my job. I had a home and a car and all those things that people sometimes get here and work to get. I had those things, and what they did was hem me up. Those things was choking the life out of me. You know, because they didn't allow me to come in these rooms and tell you how I felt on the inside. You know, you couldn't get past the clothes and the makeup and the damn cologne. You know, so they didn't allow me to come in here and ask for the kind of help I needed in the beginning. So I came and I sat my ass in these rooms for 18 months, and I didn't go to treatment. You know, I thank God for treatment facilities for the people that need them. Because I walked into an NA meeting, I sat my ass down in my home group, and I never left. But it took me 18 months to say I was an addict. It took me a year and a half to make the admission for myself. And in the second part of the first step, it says that we make that admission for ourselves. The word for means I'm going to get something. I knew I had a problem, but y'all was it. I wasn't it. You know, I wasn't the problem. And it wasn't until I made the admission that I was an addict, and that was my problem, that y'all could help me. You know, that even more so, God would work through the people in the rooms that they could help me. You know, so here I am with my socially accepted ass, sitting in the rooms for a year and a half, not collecting no clean time, still thinking, you know, that I ain't got the problem y'all got. I ain't like y'all. You know, I really want to thank all the addicts who practice honesty. And I really want to thank the ones who just plain don't tell the truth. You know, and truth is a fact. Truth is after it's done. You know, and I want to thank them for whatever they did, that they were willing to share what they did. Because the truth made me realize that I had a problem. And the rules was my solution. You know, I got a piece of literature, and it's the IP number 19, Self-Acceptance. And anybody that know me know it's my favorite. It's the pink one. You know, when you go to the meeting, look for the pink one. And I needed this in my life, you know, because sometimes people say, read the book. Well, you know what? The book can be overwhelming. And I say that I ain't saying don't read the book, because I believe in the literature. But when I first got clean, all I remember was people reading things that sounded like they was talking about me. You know, and I was like, I ain't gonna read that book from cover to cover and they talking about me like that for 300 pages. Shit, I can't handle it. So I started doing what was suggested, and I started taking on little pieces of literature, you know, like the IPs. And it says in self-acceptance, the problem. And it starts off saying that, the problem. And it says the lack of self-acceptance is a problem for many recovering addicts. This subtle defect is difficult to identify and often goes unrecognized. Many of us believe that using drugs was our only problem, denying the fact that our lives have become unmanageable. Even after we stop using, this denial can continue to plague us. Many of the problems we experience in ongoing recovery stem from an inability to accept ourselves on a deep level. And I said, okay, so drugs ain't my only problem. What is it? What took me to drugs? See, because drugs were outside of me. And when I say drugs, I'm using it in a broad sense. You can apply it to whatever it fit in your life. Because it fit everything in my life. Okay? And I ignored the unmanageability because I told you I was gainfully employed, and I was. But I need you to know that by the time I got to the point of surrender, my mama was helping to get me dressed for that job so that I could go to it. You know, calling and asking me stuff like, you want me to wash your monkey? Like, no. It's bad, but it ain't that bad. You know. But in reality, my mother saw the desperation. She saw the condition that I had gotten to. And I needed her to extend herself that way. You know, being able to accept myself on a deep level was my problem. You know. It goes on further than that, and it says, we may find ourselves trying to change environmental factors and attempt to satisfy this inner gnawing with trying to change stuff on the outside, shit in the environment. It says, in situations such as these, experience has shown that it is best to look inward for the source of discontent. Very often we discover we are harsh critics of ourselves, wallowing in self-loathing and rejection. All the way up until the point that I got on this podium, I simply said, why me? You know, I know I'm clean. God know I'm clean. But all the way to the point of this podium, they could have chose somebody else. I kept saying that, why the hell did they choose somebody else? You know, I ain't got enough to say to be the closing speaker, the last person they hear. All I had to do was come here and tell y'all I'm clean. Don't pick up. You know, don't go to the dope house. God will carry you the rest of the day. I could say that. But it's something in me to say that I ain't got enough to stand here and do that. I ain't an authority on this. You know, I ain't one of them prolific book thumpers. You know, taking a page 56, you be flipping, trying to keep up with them. I ain't one of them. So I ain't got enough to share. I'm not equipped enough, even though I live this program. I have a working knowledge of the steps and the traditions. Shit, even the concepts, because I do service. Why don't I have enough? Talking about what's on the inside. Y'all believed in me when I couldn't believe in me. Up to the point of this podium. This convention committee believed in me. I asked somebody last night. I don't know why y'all chose me. And then they made me wait all weekend. I want to say that too. I was hot. I had a little resentment. Made me wait all weekend to do this. I had to walk around. People, you having a good time? Yeah. I know. The convention is beautiful, but shit, I'm nervous, I'm stressed out. Trying to get to Sunday. No. But in Narcotics Anonymous, we don't identify the problem and not give you the solution. You know, this is, again, a proven plan for daily recovery. So we have some stuff that we can tell you that works. In the same IP, it says the 12 steps are the solution. Well, get that. That was a simple thing. You know, it says, today, the first step towards self-acceptance is acceptance of our addiction. And I want you to know that I, like a lot of other people, I respect the disease of addiction. I don't fear it like I used to. You know, I don't want you to think that I ain't scared that I may get high if I do a 12-step in the dope house. Yes, I am, and I don't do 12 steps in the dope house because of that. You know, but I ain't as scared of this disease as I used to be. You know, and I accept the fact that I'm an addict. That's why can't nobody make this admission for you. Can't nobody come in the rooms and say, Mike, you an addict. Hi, Mike, he an addict. He gotta say that. God gotta hear him say that. And it ain't that God don't know. But we make that full admission for ourselves so we can get from God what it is he has for us and help. We come in the rooms and keep saying it to each other. Every time we open up, we say meeting etiquette is high, I'm Marlow, I'm an addict. And that's me saying to you, I still need God to work through you and help me. I ain't got to a point where I don't need you to help me. You know? Yeah, I'm afraid of some of the things that the disease will do to me, or let me say this, has done to me. You know? I wasn't raised to be no hoe. That didn't stop me from being one. Yeah, I'm afraid of that. You know? No, I might not be turning the trick in the bathrooms no more, but I might be eyeing some sister's husband in the room and know that I am and know that that's her husband. And I thank God for not having to do that. I thank God for not having to do that. You know? And I thank y'all for helping me not to practice my defects. You know? Because I don't want nobody in here sharing their ass off about me because they ran out of other topics. Come on, I don't want to be the conversation at the coffee house. I don't want the sponsee brothers to get to a bonding or a sponsorship meet and I'm the topic because it's 5 of them in there to contribute to the conversation. Come on, baby. No, they ain't got that kind of scoop on me. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful, you know. It says that, man, the next thing we need is to help us in self-acceptance is a belief in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. You know, it's power in numbers. Man, that sister said we had close to 3,000, years of clean time in this room last night or at this convention. It's power in numbers. And you know what? However insignificant you may in the back of your mind think that your time is, put it with a whole bunch of other time, baby. Y'all got some stuff. I got some stuff. You know, because I was sitting right there last night in the power of what God can do. Wasn't nobody going to tell you on the dope set that you could be a part of a powerful move of God. Wasn't nobody getting ready to bring that to the dope set and say that to you. You know, give my money. You know, money. That's all. So you had to come up in here to get that. You had to come up in here and to feel like just because you didn't turn a corner on Goodfellas and Martin Luther King in St. Louis and you didn't get high, that you had some power in the numbers of the rooms. This room is a power greater than me. You know, right now I'm standing in a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. You know, right now today I woke up grateful. You know, and I suffer from the I won'ts. You know, to the point of the I got the haves. Shit. You know, and today, all I did in waking up was thank my God. You know, it was thank my God. And I don't want to cry, so I'm trying out I don't want to cry, you know, because I did it already, you know. But I have an overwhelming sense of gratitude. You know, I have an overwhelming sense of gratitude because everybody in here has their own story. You know, and I want you to know, Isnac, today you become a part of mine. You know, I was so grateful this morning to think that this convention has happened for 10 years, you know, and that they asked me to be a part of history. You know, see, Narcotics Anonymous and your affiliation with it will make you a celebrity. I'm all right with that. I think I look good being a celebrity. You know, they thank you because they have made me whatever it is that I am. You know, because here's some people say she thinks she, you know what? What I think is between me and God. What you think is between you and God until it come out your mouth. Or it's in your step. You know, you acting, yeah, then it belongs to the public. So what I think ain't your spiritual business. You know. And it ain't what I think I am that you're dealing with, it's what you think I am. And please think that I'm another addict doing this thing just like it's written. One simple day at a time. Just for this day, I plan to stay clean. That's all. That's all I am. I ain't never walked up to nobody and say, let me share. You know, I ain't never walked up to nobody and say, let me sponsor you. I ain't never done that. But it has happened that I've shared. And it's happened that people have asked me to sponsor them. You know. And they say, wait a minute. And I say the same thing to all of them. Why me? You know, and my God does that. Now, and I want to talk about God because God is a part of the solution. You know. How could you be self-loathing, okay, and brought back from a depth of loathing to a healthy state of you'll love yourself? It's got to be a God. It's got to be a God. You know, it's got to be a God that'll make you take a bath after not taking one for so long. It's got to be a God that'll stop you, Marlow, from shaking your drawers and thinking they clean. Flipping them inside out, trying to get another wear and keep rolling. It's got to be a God. You know, it's got to be a God. You know, God has done so many things for me here. You know, I don't have a reason to use. And I simply don't have a reason to use because it ain't none. Ain't no reasons to use. You know, and I've been some places in my life, okay, in recovery, that if I was going to use, I'd be high as a kite right now, I'd be dead. You know, and that's as simple as it gets. You know, in these rooms, I've had some things happen, you know, and I want you to know, I didn't use. Yeah, I want to shoot a motherfucker in the head. And wait a minute, and to the convention committee, no disrespect, my God, I already know what I'm thinking, so it's okay. You know, I could have said something else and he'd have knew a motherfucker was in behind that. You know, because that's just who I am, and I'm asking him to continue to help me in areas. But trust me, cussing ain't the biggest area that I need his help in. So when that get ready to go, I'll humbly go and ask him, like the steps say. You know, but in the meantime, me and God working on some bigger things. You know, we sometimes think that we offend God with some of the trivial stuff that we trip off of. But for real, we offend him most when we're not loving and caring each other. The symbol talk about goodwill, and the G got a big G, not a little G. You need to know we're talking about God. And how you treat your fellow man. You know, my God is good to me. You know, he is good to me in everything. I want to thank him today for the pain that comes through life experiences, because most of my painful experiences, I asked my God for. Every hymn that came before the most current hymn,
come on, girl.
I asked God for them.
Oh, yes.
You know, or even better, I told him I consulted him, let him know I got him. You know, help me keep him. You know. You know. And I'm grateful because the current him, God sent him. You know, and I didn't pick them, they picked me. My picker's broke, for anybody who needs to know. You know, and but I know that about myself, and I accept that about myself. You know, I like some messed up stuff. You know, and I believe it's an addict that came up with the phrase, it's an acquired taste. You know, that's when you ain't supposed to like something, but you learn to like it. You learn to do it. You know, even when most of you is rejecting it in the beginning. You know, and you keep on until you get used to it, whatever it is. You know, in the solution it says, a spiritual understanding of self-acceptance is knowing that it is all right to find ourselves in pain and have made some mistakes and to know we are not perfect. I want to take you all to the day before I got here, to Thursday. And I have some financial commitments as a part of amends that I'm meeting. You know, chapter 13. It's a powerful word. You know, you start paying people back what you owe them. But amends is what it is, so work the steps and you'll figure out, find all that stuff. You get some good guidance. And because of it, I don't always have the money that I'd like to have. And Thursday, I went to the bank. In my head, I had more money than I actually had. Okay? And they said that to me. And then the girl did a printout. Shit, then I had being an addict that I am, I ain't through with it. I had to walk me through the printout. And in the end, it wasn't there. And I had to get into some acceptance. But it was hard-pressed acceptance, you know. So I got some things I need to do, and I drove my own car up here. And I was told by my mechanic that he would advise me to put 2 tires on the front end of my car. And I was like, 2 tires? Oh, my God. You know, and I talked about it with my guy, and he said, we got to do what we got to do, you know. And I said, okay. And so I called a store, and they said that they had them, and then the brother on the phone said to me, he says, are you doing this today? And I said, yes. He said, about what time? And I said, well, yeah, I don't know, about 4:30, 4 o'clock. And he said, well, how about 5? We're expecting a shipment of tires in, and they're cheaper than the cheapest one we have in the store. I said, okay. I said, 5 o'clock, I'll be there. So I went rushing out to the store, and I got in the store, and he showed me the list, okay? And he says, well, these are the tires we have, and this is the cheapest one. He said the other tires, they didn't come in. He says, but I told you on the phone, and he did, that they would give me a 10% discount off of the cheapest one. And I said, okay, that's cool. I'm fully prepared to pay for these tires. But I'm going to tell you what happened, okay, because I suffer from disease of addiction. Make no doubt about it. Clean time, it'll show up on you. He said, come on out here because I want you to look at the tires. So we out here, you know, we looking at the tires and see, I know how to drive. Man, my ass off. But I mean, you know, the works of the car and all that, hey, whatever. Come on, boy, give me them tires. I got to go. You know, and he says to me, you know, this is a good, great tire, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, you have $50 cash? I said, yeah, I got $50 cash. He said, put it in the ashtray. And I'm going to give you these 2 tires on the front end of your car. You know, and this program teaches me to be honest. I put the 50 in the ashtray. this is critical. It's critical that I come here and I be honest with you. Because I ain't going to tell you I'm somebody I ain't. Because telling you somebody I ain't, that didn't get me to this point. It didn't help me none. Telling you who I am helped me. I went out there, wait a minute, and I'm a dope fiend. I'm an addict. I marked the 50 because you ain't going to play me. You ain't gonna play me. So I done marked the 50. Stuck it in the ashtray. He said, when you get done, come back to the counter. I said, okay. We get to the counter. Got this little pump out. He putting my information. He asking me all the information. What's your name? You know, I'm telling him what's your address, blah, 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 blah. And he said, can I trust you? And I stepped back. I said, and God said to me in my head, this ain't right. And I said, from one thief to another, that's a real critical question to ask. Shit, can I trust you? You know, now I don't know you from a can of paint either. I didn't put the 50 out there. You know, and he said it'll be done in about 45 minutes. You can come back and get your car. He gave me a little ticket to get my keys and all that. And he said, you walk around the store or whatever. And I decided, because in my spirit I didn't feel good, you know. And I'm talking about a thief. I was a thief. You know. And I didn't wait to fence the stuff, because I did that too. You know, they sold everything, full length fur leather coats out of my house, sequins dresses. How you get out of the store with a sequin, 5 or 6 sequin gown? You know, but I'm telling you, from a thief. You know, I was a jewelry thief. I don't ever want to be in Mexico in jail. But I stole jewelry in Mexico and in Jamaica. You know, how do you get it off behind the glass? You know, and then when I first got clean, I used to be mad at people that messed up the craft, you know, thievery. But that's something else. Because today I don't feel that way. I can't walk around these people's store comfortable. You know, I'm tripping. Now I got to leave out the store. I said, fuck it, I'll just walk down to another store in the strip mall and I'll come back. The whole time I'm walking around there, I am feeling worse about what I've done. Then I said, well, you can stop it. You can just go back and tell him. Like he finna give me that 50. Like they gonna take these tires back off my car, you know, and have to explain why they doing it. Ain't none of that finna happen. Right now, I have to accept the fact that most that I can do about this is not do this again. Be honest enough to come in here and share it with y'all. See, God, instead of another human being at this step that'll relieve me from the shame and the guilt. And I have to believe that it's okay for me to do that, because I kept going to God. And I felt so bad. And I'm telling you, you know, change is a trip. From a thief who used to, wait a minute, I want to look over my shoulder thief. You know, I stole and kept rolling since shoot, and if it ain't, oh well. You know, they lost. So I wasn't tripping like that when I was stealing. But I'm clean, and I've developed a conscience through the character building that happens in the steps. So I can't walk in there and harm that store, that establishment, and not feel nothing. No more. But here I am with the disease, because I'm with it now. It's on me tough. You know, I can't shake it. Oh, thieving ass. Motherfuckers don't know. Now, what you gonna share? Yeah, what you gonna share now? What you gonna tell them now, big girl? I'm gonna say, in here, in the literature, it says that we make mistakes. I made a big mistake, and I'm telling you, I went to God immediately after I started to feel those feelings. See, our feelings are indicators. Just like my car got the dash and it's got indicator lights that tell me when something ain't okay. It may not say what it is, but it say, check me out. My indicator said, check me out. And I didn't feel good, because I ain't a thief like I used to be. I ain't living like that today. You know, and I was feeling just what I was supposed to feel, a serious discomfort with my behavior. Because when it ain't right, I ain't supposed to be comfortable in it no more. If you've had a spiritual awakening in this process, That wasn't a hookup. I was stealing and he was too. That's all that was. Shit, if it was a hookup, it was two thieves hooked up, got together, and stole them folks' tires. That's all that happened. You know, I went home, and now my guy, he know that I'm going to get these tires because he at work. So I'm at home and I'm walking around and I'm feeling like crazy. And I need to show this, my man ain't in recovery. He's not an addict. And I want to thank my God for putting somebody in my life, man, that truly accepts me and my need to be here. My need to be here. My need to be here. I'm here so that I can be better in the relationships that I've had in my life. My mama, my man, my child, y'all, my job. That's why I'm here, and he accepts my need to be here. So sometimes I go to him, and I mistake in the back of my mind that he know the steps, and I want to share it. I want to, and his response is usually, it'll be all right, whatever it is. And when I went to pick him up, he was the first person I talked to after God. And I got there, and I said, before I could pull out of the park, I need to tell you what happened. I need to share. I need to tell you what I did. I did a bad thing, you know. Because I sometimes think I'm supposed to be perfect. And I'm telling him, and he's listening, you know, and he says, real simple, just don't do that no more. Don't do it, you know. And he got an accent, so it's really funny when he says stuff like, just don't do that again, you know. And I'm like, okay, but I still want to be stuck in what my disease is trying to do to me. I still want him to know it's all over me, and I'm trying to shake it off, and I'm like, but it was so bad, you know, I can't believe. And he's like, but you don't have to do that again. And you prayed, you told God, you know, just don't do it again. If you're doing anything that's harmful to you, make you feel bad, just don't do it again. You know, simple. He ain't got to be in the room to give me a message. You know, don't do it no more. You know, and because I live with this disease and it go where I go, that night, when my sponsee called me, my sponsor was out of town with her job, and when my sponsee called me, I said, let me tell you what I did, and you know I can't go in there and share now. And I told her, and she says, but just think how you feel now, you know, versus how you would have felt some time ago. You wouldn't even tripped off of it, you know, and that's evidence of growth. Sponsorship is very important. Yes, it is. And it's not just important from the standpoint of get you a sponsor. I'm going to help you. It's important from the point of get you a sponsor, put some work in your life so when they need you, you can help them. You don't get this stuff and get to keep getting it. You know, then you're a parasite living off other folks. Living off other things. God ain't said you could keep this. He said you could have it, but he didn't say you could keep it. His expectation is that we do help each other in whatever way we need to. Not whatever way you want to, because you may not want to pick somebody up for the meet, but you may need to. You know, and don't pick them up and then watch your car break down. You know. And I shared that with her, and I felt better after sharing it because I hadn't gotten to a point in my process with that behavior and that situation to get to the feeling of, okay, I made a mistake. So when one of my home group members, when we got to the same spot that same night, I shared it with them. And you know what they did? They took a little more out of that. A little more of the pain, a little more of the discomfort, a little more of the shame, a little more of the guilt went away as I shared it with them. And I got better. Me and them two stolen tires rolled right up here to is now. And I know today, okay, I know today that God ain't blessed me with no stolen shit. There ain't nothing, okay? But I do know today that through, I ain't kidding, man, it's a revelation of things that happen. In the steps, in the process of staying clean, it's some things that can happen. Okay? You can stop a thief from stealing. You know? And I know that. Me coming here. See, that was for y'all. That was a brand new experience. That ain't nothing you're going to hear on no previous tapes and no crazy shit. You know? Because I think like y'all think. I ain't going to say I think like that. I think like y'all think. You know? I know what some of the things are that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? And that was for me to bring to this convention. And it was for me to be, to be the closing speaker and stand here and tell you, I still got to keep working on myself. I still got to keep coming. I still got to go to meetings. I still have to call my sponsor, get with her, work with her, and talk about me and real shit and not, hey, how you doing, what's up? And she my partner, too. Okay? But we need, there are things in our life called sponsorship conversations, and then there's things where we just hollering. You know, we just kicking it, we just shooting shit on the phone. Girl, what's up? You know, and she know the difference because when I call and ask to speak to so-and-so, Gina, she know what we finna talk about. Me. When I say, hey, G, what's up? She know that I'm my girlfriend calling and I want to tell her about the sale out of DSW. She know the difference, you know. And I love my sponsor for loving me like she do. And she don't love me to death, man. She love me to live. I mean, for real, she love me to live. So she ain't gonna let me kill myself spiritually, emotionally, and physically at all costs. If there's anything she can do, she'll help with that too. But I mean, those spiritual deaths we take ourselves through, you're not gonna kill my spirit with that, you know. Walking around with that, carrying that the whole weekend. I ain't got to do that because I'm going to make some more mistakes. You know? There's no such thing as certainty. My grandmother had a real hit on this, and she said, life is risk. And certainty don't happen until something is the past. You don't know what the heck going to happen the next minute. You got to keep living to find that out. And it's the same way with this process of recovery for me. I don't know where God is going to take me. You know, I remember after hearing this brother share, that was one of my recovery goals. I'm one of those intellectual goal-setting sisters. That was one of my goals. I'm gonna stay clean. I'm going to be a speaker at a workshop. You know, that's one of my recovery goals. And if you ain't in here, let me say this. If you're not in this room expecting anything out of this process, ask yourself what the hell you doing in here. Why come you not expecting nothing? Why come? I'm not just talking about the material things, but I'm talking about the expectation of growth and change and prosperity in your life. Why come you ain't expecting that? You in here dealing with God. God got everything. Why wouldn't you think he got something for you? I'm in here expecting a lot of things. And it ain't just material things. Hell, I was expecting to get to a point where thievery would make me sick. It did. Because I like stealing and walking away with my money and your stuff. But I don't steal no more. And man, it did. It made me sick on the inside. Emotionally, I was real hurt. You know, and I was ashamed and I was upset with myself. I ain't finna do that no more. Because I ain't like the way it feel. And I'm kind of at a point today that I don't do things when I don't like the way they feel, and I don't try to work to get to a level of comfort in them so that I can keep doing them. I don't. You know, if I don't like it, it don't feel good, I'm gonna drop it like it's hot. That's just where I'm at. But I know that today, as I keep coming into these rooms and I keep doing what's necessary to stay clean in this day and to help somebody else, God got something for me. It talk about that for man and then first step. You ain't got to go much further. You know, when you want to know some of the things that can happen. You know, I want to finish telling you about what it says the solution is. And it says, now that we have come to believe in a power greater than ourselves, we can depend upon his strength to give us courage to honestly examine our defects and our assets. Although it sometimes is painful and may not seem to lead to self-acceptance, it is necessary to get in touch with our feelings. And it goes on to say, it says, our defects are a part of us and will only be removed when we practice living the Narcotics Anonymous program. Our assets are gifts from our higher power. And as we learn to utilize them fully, our acceptance grows and our lives improve. Sometimes we slip into melodrama. I'm still in tires. And the melodrama of wishing that we could be what we think we should be. We may feel overpowered by self-pity and pride, but by renewing our faith in a higher power, we are given hope and courage and the strength to grow. This room is a power greater than me, and you all have given me hope and courage and strength to grow. For what reason would I leave the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous? It would be like giving back the winning lotto ticket and said, I don't need that million or so. I'm cool. I'm straight. You know, it's absolutely no reason for me to make the decision to leave these rooms. See, there ain't nothing wrong with Narcotics Anonymous. For all the folks who want to fix it. I do want you to know that we are in a process, just like the process of recovery is an active change in behavior and attitude. We're in a process of growth up in here. We're on the 5th edition of the book. Don't you think it grew some? Don't you think it changed some? And we'll keep looking at what we can do to get better. We'll keep doing that. But we ain't trying to fix it because it ain't broke. And there ain't nothing wrong with the fellowship. Let me say that because I love the people. I'm in a love affair with Narcotics Anonymous and the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. I do service work. And I do it from the group level. I'm the assistant coffee maker at my home group and the clean up the kitchen woman. That's who I am, you know, and the secretary. And I do area service work. You know, I remember when it gassed me that they nominated me first, then they voted me in as the area vice chair and then the area chair. Man, that laid me out. I'm like, what? These people don't know. Do they hear me when I say I'm mad? What do they hear? Do they hear Angel? What they hear? No, you know I'm mad. You know. I remember all the goals that I said and said I wanted to be I was living to be a main speaker at a Narcotics Anonymous convention. And I want you to know that, I don't know, maybe 2 months before they called me to do this, my goal had changed. My goal in recovery had changed. I was not living to be a main speaker anymore. And I had said it out of my mouth. Profession is a big thing. When you profess something out your own mouth, that's why you got to say you had it. I said I was living to die clean. That was it for me. I'm living to die clean. I want one of them eternity medallions bad. I ain't gonna know I got it, but I want one. You know? And if I want my people to have it, I know that I'm living to die clean. And it's better than, you know, and every day ain't gravy. I don't want you to think every day is gravy. It ain't. But it's better than some of the other days that I've had. You know? And to know that I don't care what's going on, I don't have to use. You know? I've been in these rooms and had things show up, smack me and my mom in the face. I got involved in a relationship in the rooms. The brother had HIV. He didn't share it. We had that good old unprotected, you know, seal the deal sex. And I later found out. And then I had to go through a series of tests to find out whether or not I was going to have it. I want to thank my God. He didn't have the disease for me, but he had the experience for me. See, my practices have changed because of that experience. It says a bitter reality can be a spiritual awakening. It's in the literature. So a bitter reality was a spiritual awakening for me. It changed how I behave in that area. You know, it ain't shit. Everybody in this room know they gonna die. But to think you finna get a date, you know, next Thursday might. Shit. And I had to live clean. I had to keep coming back. You know, and then I was mad because they used It was that I didn't want to. You know, I didn't want to use, because using wasn't going to do nothing. You know. I've harmed myself in so many ways. I ain't going to tell you I didn't know then about protected sex. I knew about that. I played a part in everything. And I had to get to a point of accepting my own behavior, my own responsibility to me. I have to be responsible for myself and my recovery. That's what the literature says. I'm responsible for my recovery. In all the areas of my life, in all my affairs. So I have to be honest enough to say that, you know what, he couldn't have got it like that unless you was gay. I wasn't raped, he was my man. We was doing what we do at the time. You know. And I'm glad that my God didn't have the disease of HIV for me, but he had the experience, because that experience puts me in a point of, you know what, sometimes it's put up or shut up. And I remember being clean in the beginning and hearing people share, man, their experience with the hope. And I was saying, I ain't going to never come in this room and tell these people all this shit about me. I ain't going to do it. They got me messed up. They ain't going to know. But the more you share it, hell, you had told it anyway. So I prayed for levels of honesty that would help me not to have those behaviors I was ashamed of sharing about anyway. And through consistent prayer, that vigilance in doing what it is that was suggested. See, I knew that it worked. You know, my predecessors, you know, for this experience were my parents. Both of them was clean and they got in the process. That showed me, and I knew them up close. And I knew that it worked because of them. You know. And I sat here in that year and a half, boy, I used to size up that coffee pot. You know, I want to thank God for some things. Because, see, he put everything in here that we needed. You know, if you'd have got here and there wouldn't have been no parties, you wouldn't have wanted to stay. You know, I wouldn't have wanted this. I couldn't have stayed. If I'd have got here and there wasn't going to be no big old flashy hats and shoes on them brothers, shit, I wasn't going to be up in here. You know, if I'd have got here and it wasn't going to be a pack of people in the meeting being a major disruption with a whole bunch of clean time saying the newcomer the most important person in the room, I wouldn't have stayed. If I didn't think it was some celebrities in the room, I wouldn't have stayed. I wouldn't have had shit to aspire to get to. And I aspire to go to a meeting and everybody in there know my name, like on Cheers. You know, and I like that. You know, I like that. I feel at home here. I accept the fact that I'm an addict. I accept the fact that I'm an addict. It's a gift in that acceptance for me. It's a gift in working the spiritual principles for me. You know, if don't nobody ever accept it, if don't nobody ever understand my need to be here, it's most important that I do. You know, and it's most important that I get into the process of recovery so that I can help somebody else realize that death ain't got to be the end for them. You know, it's life after death in these rooms. You know, it's life after spiritual or emotional death up in here. You know, people will call you sir and ma'am. You know, you'll be a respected citizen. You know, possibly productive. I ain't gonna say all that. But that's a possibility, you know, in these rooms. You know, I'm real grateful. I'm ecstatic. You know, I took a lot of things to my sponsor when we went over my 4th step and in the 5th step. I took a lot of stuff to her. Things that I carried around with me. You know what? And she said to me, God already knew all of that stuff you just shared with me. He knew it. He witnessed it when it was a thought, way before it was an action. So know this. If he's got these rooms in Narcotics Anonymous still for you, you got to know he loves you. You know, it's love in these rooms. There's a bunch of other stuff in here, and we know it. Why? Because we're in here. We brought the stuff with us. Love was waiting on us when we got here, but we brought stuff with us up in here. You know, so if that defective behavior is up in here with you, you bought it too. You know, We spot stuff in other people because that's the stuff that we suffering with. You know, and it still tells us in our literature, this is Narcotics Anonymous, and we all welcome here. Don't y'all change that. Because if you do, it's going to be some people who can't get admitted. You know, it's going to be some people who can't come, who won't feel like they can stay once they do come. You know, just as you are, I still come just as I am. You know, I still throw myself on the love of this fellowship when shit ain't cool. You know, I celebrate my life successes with the people in these rooms. Addicts are my friends. They're my preferred relationships. I don't kick it with other people. I work with them. You know, I may go worship with them. That's something different. But my association with this fellowship has made me a better individual in all my relationships. You know, in all of them. And it is through rigorous application that I continue to be an asset. The gifts from my higher power. You know, I love being a part of this. You know, being a part of, I don't feel like I'm visiting y'all in ESH. I don't feel like I'm visiting. I done been all over to the soul food neighborhood. I was like, take me to the ghetto. Where the ghetto? I don't feel like I'm visiting. You know, wherever I am in Narcotics Anonymous, I'm home.
That's right. That's somebody.
You know, I ain't never been nowhere where I wasn't welcome. And maybe they don't hug like we hug in St. Louis. Okay, that's cool. That doesn't mean I wasn't welcome. Don't take yourself there. You know, maybe they don't do what I do or we do. That's the autonomy and the beauty of this program. If everybody did it the same way, we'd have issues with that too. We're too a diverse a group for that. If you don't believe that, trust God up there chuckling right now. Because he know exactly who it is I am. I'm that same little fat girl. That's who I am. You know. And he's like, look at her. My father, I'm going to say this in closing, he has this thing that he talks about when he talks about the eagles. And it's a lot of different people, you know, and diversity in these rooms, you know. And if we could apply the semblance of birds to ourselves, you know, I'm only an eagle flying on the wings that you all gave me. It's all right, though, to be an eagle. It's all right for me to be standing at the podium. It's an opportunity for everybody in this room to do just what I'm doing. And it's only through applying this program to your life. It's only through getting in the process and letting them see it. See, sometimes you got to see the message. It ain't about hearing it all the time and what somebody say. I said all kinds of stuff before I got here. I want to come in here and see the message. I want to see you look good, clean up good. You know? Shit, I'm going to tell you, baby, these brothers gave me 2 years off the top. I was going to come just to see them. I'm going to stick around just for 2 and watch the fashion change. It take about 2 years for them gay to go out style and bring another one in. I'm going to stay for that. You know, I'm so grateful for an opportunity to be clean. I could be somewhere sleeping in my car. Wait a minute, or where my car could have been. You know, I'm real grateful to my God for you all. You know, make no mistake about it, you're still the ultimate weapon, even on your worst days. You know, if all you could say to somebody that day because you don't feel really spiritual and you don't feel like you practicing the principles, if all you can tell them is keep coming back and don't pick up, you have carried the message. That's what God expects. I can't expect more of you than that. What you get out of this process is what you put in. You know, God ain't said there was no limit on what we could have. He has not said that. You know, he has not said that this is as far as you can go and you can't go no higher. Because I'm flying like eagle and I'm going to tell you some pigeons wish they was eagles. But I can't do nothing but tell them what I did to be an eagle. I got me a home group. I got a sponsor. I read the literature. I believe in this way of life, you know. And I stay asking God to make me humble, that the people in these rooms can help me in my daily recovery. Love and respect is all I have for Narcotics Anonymous. Thank you, ISNAC, for asking me to share. I'm an addict named Marlow.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please help us improve our rankings so others can find us by putting a review on Stitcher, iTunes, or your favorite podcast index. NAPOD is ad-free thanks to the folks supporting the show with $1 or more per month. If you enjoy listening, you can join them by going to napod.xyz and looking for the donate link. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.